Hello, and welcome to this week's meeting of the Rotary EClub of Silicon Valley. I'm Brett, the club president, and I thank you for joining us. Each week, we connect with and hear from fascinating and inspirational speakers, often with a message focused on our interests in education, entrepreneurship, and innovation. As a Rotary Club, we look for ways that our programs and contributions from our speakers might foster new approaches to improving communities near and far. This week's program is a little different to our usual approach. Recently, we had our club assembly, which brought together many of our club members and gave us the opportunity to reflect on the goals for our club that we set at the start of the year, the progress we have made so far, and the opportunities and challenges that lie ahead. We were also fortunate enough to be joined by our District Governor, Richard Flanders, for the assembly, and this week's program focuses on DG Richard's remarks to the club, picking up from where the program concluded during last week's meeting. If you haven't yet seen the first part of this program, I encourage you to do so, and you can access it by clicking on the link beneath this video. We're glad that you've joined us and hope that you enjoy this week's program.
Brad, it's good to see you again. I miss Malaysia. I came from the same part of the world. But let me just start by saying this is the first time I'm addressing this EClub, this particular club. I have addressed many other clubs that meets online, 3 of them in the past. And at least with this, I see like 9 people have their video on. Many of the times it's like 30 out of 30 videos, 27 are off. And so I appreciate that. I want to first acknowledge Cecilia Babkirk. I've known her for a long time, and I never know what parts of the world she's in, but looks like she's home today. But I've known her, and she helps me a lot to understand the grant process early on when I started joining this district. So I'm glad to see you there, Cecilia. I think you're back from Italy, is from my understanding. And then
long enough to get the visa.
Oh, so you're in San Jose now?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, stay with us until as long as you can.
Well, I'm in this club because I can be anywhere in the world and be part of it.
Yes, and you're an important part of our grants team in our district, and I also want to acknowledge Phil Dean. I have known Phil Dean for a long time, and I always want him to be on my committee whenever I chair something in the district. And he's a big Rotary Foundation supporter himself. And then I see Mike Kane. Mike is a transfer from Los Gatos Morning Rotary Club to your club, and he has been tremendous this year in one of the 3 focuses that I'm doing this year, which is public image. I mean, the guy is spent a lot of time helping, I think, about 10 to 12 clubs this year, helping them with their website and social media posts. So I appreciate all the time that he put in this year to help us. And we have really moved the needle in terms of public image, because in the past few years, we really haven't done much. But this year we finally did something and are doing something to really try to help clubs to improve their public image. And I know Sandy Stabil is in this club, but I know she's going through a tough time and she's on leave of absence. And then I see Terry Schinkel here. Are you related to Jeff Schinkel and John Schinkel? You are, okay. So I know your husband very well.
John is my son.
And I know John well too. And I know Jeff has been helping out with the leadership meeting every single month with the AV's support. So anyway, but I'm happy to meet with the rest of the members who are here. I know Raquel, I spoke with her in the past, This is the first time I think she put in the chat the word aphonic. I don't even know what that is, but I guess that means that she's not able to have the audio to talk. But anyway, Brad, this has been a very challenging year for Rotary, as you know. Last year, at least for your club, it probably didn't make much of a difference because you meet online. You know, your club actually grew. I mean, last year you started at 48 and became 57 at the beginning of this year. So I think because of the pandemic, you know, you were successful in getting more members. But in terms of the rest of the clubs, you know, there's a lot of meetings that have been restricted with vaccination proof. There have been meetings where we don't know whether we're going to cancel at the last minute because the regulation and the COVID sort of pop up out of nowhere. So it's really been challenging, and clubs are having problems with, you know, meeting location, the cost, the rising of the food costs, you know, where they can longer meet at their normal regular price places. And so, but I think your club is doing great. I mean, your goal of membership this year is 60 members, Brett, and we talk about that. And you are now at 57. So you have to get 3 more to meet your goal, which is one for each of the month, with the 3 months remaining. Actually, 3.5 months remaining with our Rotary year this year. I agree with you about engagement. You know, when I go to the clubs all over the district, I believe that it's important to engage the members to bring guests to your club. Whether it's you know, for you it's a e-meeting, in a remote meeting, but for many of club, there are many people who, because of the pandemic, have been sad, depressed, and isolated. And so, you know, now that we're opening up, and I think we know some of those people in our community, they could be our neighbors, could be our colleagues, but, you know, I think this is the time to really invite people to join our organization, to get to know what we're doing and to help with, you know, service. I mean, like your club is doing tremendous amount of service internationally with global grants. That's amazing for an EClub to be so active with so many global grants pending at any given time. And having Cecilia in the club will certainly help the exposure of the global grants. But you know, the other thing, Brett, I saw your statistics, you know, the percentage of people coming to the meeting engaged and their engagement. You know, there are some clubs in our district that have not seen their own members for the past 24 months. It's been 2 years since the clubs got shut down, or many of the businesses got shut down. So I believe that it is important that if we don't see our own members coming to the meeting, that we have to call them and find out what's going on with them. Maybe they have problems that we can help them with, and maybe they're not aware as to what's going on. But so it's important for us to stay connected with people who we don't see, and members that we don't know what's going on with their lives. So I think it's important, because if we don't stay connected with them, we may lose them, and it's harder to try to get new members than to retain the current members in the club. You talk about Rotary Foundation. You know, I know that your goal is $10,000 this year in annual funds. You know, I just pulled up the report this morning. I mean, actually an hour before this meeting. It shows that your club has given a total of $10,715. So your number is a little bit off, but you actually exceeded your goal by $715. So, you know, I mean, I also see the goals for the past 5 years. This is the highest goal that your club has set since 2017, 2018, and you have achieved that $10,715, and your total giving is $15,037 to date. And so, you have done a good job, and I know that you have given about $3,000 or $4,000 to polio. So, one thing that I would like to see if your club can help is when I'm looking at the statistics, 19 members out of 57 has given something to the Rotary Foundation this year. So, the goal of every club this year is to have to be an EREY club. That means every Rotarian every year. So, we join Rotary not only to find friends and to have fellowship and maybe to network, but we also join Rotary so that we can serve and help people who need our help. And we have done that with project in Cameroon, the soda projects in Colombia. And that's why many of us join Rotary, is because we want to help people who need our help. So, it'd be great if you can elevate the number of members in your club to give. It could be as low as $25. It doesn't have to be a lot of money. But I know, for example, Miri Chang in your club, who's not here, he's probably busy because he's expecting a baby in August. But he called me one day and he told me that he wanted to become a major donor. Major donor to the Rotary Foundation, and so he did that. He gave a sufficient amount of money this year to the Rotary Foundation so that he could be a major donor. So I appreciate that. So, I know many of you are from all over the world, 15 different countries, but in our district, in 1982, 1983, almost 40 years ago, we have a past district governor by the name of Rick King. He became the world president for Rotary International about 20 years ago. But when he was governor, he asked every Rotarian in our district to give $100 to the Rotary Foundation. And in that year, our district gave $500,000 to the Rotary Foundation. And since then, we have not looked back. We have never gone below $500,000 in terms of contribution to the Rotary Foundation for the past 40 years, almost 40 years. And this year we have done a good job. We have raised about $880,000 in annual fund to the Rotary Foundation. So I was not going to be the first governor to not go above $500,000 in Rotary contribution. And our district total contribution to the Rotary Foundation this year is $2.3 million. So, that's another achievement that the clubs in our district have helped to achieve. So anyway, I think it's important because if your club can be an EREY club, your club will be eligible for a drawing to receive money for projects all over the world. We call that District Designated Fund, or DDF. I'm sure you use some of that for your projects abroad the past few years. So $2,500 will translate to $4,000 in terms of DDF. So hopefully you can raise the number of members in your club to give to the Rotary Foundation. And we will end our year with a district conference in San Ramon, California. I know some of you are local, but many of you are all over the world. But we also see the goal is to meet at the Rotary International Convention, RICON we call it, in Houston, Texas. And I'll be there. So hopefully if some of you who are going to Houston, we can get together. And we plan on having a district dinner for Rotarians in our district to come to a restaurant so that we can assemble and gather and celebrate our year. So we'll let you know where that is. We're working on a couple of restaurants, and so we'll let you know for those of you who are coming to Houston that you're welcome to join the Rotarians in our district at the district conference. I mean, at the Rotary International Convention in Houston. So in terms of for those of you who are local, we want to invite you to come to the district conference. This is going to be at the San Ramon Marriott in our district, and we're going to have great Rotary leaders, speakers coming to speak at our district. We will have a lot of music. We will have a lot of youth contests in terms of talent and also in terms of speech contests. So, and this year, because I mean, maybe it's more related to you from people all over the world, but we're going to try to, actually we're having Friday evening, we're going to have an evening where we're going to help Vladi Divac and Anna Divac Foundation to build a peace center in Serbia. So Vladi Divac is a professional basketball player that play for the Los Angeles Lakers. And he is from Serbia, and he and his wife are trying to build a peace center in Serbia, because Serbia was part of Yugoslavia that had a major conflict in the 90s, and it's broken into 5 different countries now, and there's still some conflict there. So Friday evening, we got to help Vladi and Anna Divac raise funds to build a peace center in Serbia. So, you know, for those of you who are local, you know, you don't have to really pay money if you don't want to buy meals to come and see your friends from all over the district. There's also a house of friendship. There is hospitality. There is a lot of music. So, you know, you can look at our district website and register to attend the district conference. And the last thing that I have here is, and I see that Ray Olson, I think, is planning to go to this Rotary International Convention in Houston. So, Rory, hopefully you can join us at the district dinner in Houston, and we'll let you know when and where that is. And lastly, Brad, I think what you know, this year, every district governor has a district project, and some district governor in the past were collecting blankets for babies at the hospital. Some were trying to collect books for the library. This year, we are actually we have been collecting wheelchairs. So we've been collecting wheelchairs so that we can distribute wheelchairs in Mexico. And so, you know, the goal is to raise 1 container of wheelchairs to distribute them in Mexico. And 1 container has 280 wheelchairs, and 1 wheelchair costs $150. So, but we were able to get matching donation from a couple people. So they give us $61,000 in matching dollars, so that a wheelchair, instead of costing $150, it would only cost $75. And so this project has been very successful. The goal was 1 container. Right now we're working on our 5th container. And so that means that we're going to collect about 1,200 wheelchairs this year. And we're going to distribute, the first batch will be in Mexico City. I don't know whether some of you are from Mexico, but Mexico City will be distributing 1 wheelchair on July 8th through July 11th of this year. And then the next distribution will take place in the country of Romania and Serbia. That'll be September 18 to September 25. And then the 3rd distribution will be going back to Mexico, Monterrey, Mexico. And then the 4th and 5th distribution, we're going to decide which country we will deliver them to. So you're all welcome to attend the wheelchair distribution. And it will be nice if at least your club, Brett, can sponsor, you know, a couple of wheelchairs so that so that every club in our district will be part of our wheelchair project, so that we can buy new wheelchairs for people who have mobility problems, so that they can have a new wheelchairs where they can get around to wherever they need to do. But Brett, I think that's all I have today. I mean, it's kind of like, I could talk as a lawyer, I could talk forever and ever, but I need to stop because I know this is an EClub, and it's an abridged version of my speech. So anyway, I appreciate you allowing me to come, Brett. This is my 54th governor's visit, so I still have 7 more to go, or 8 more to go. But and then I'll be done. But it's a pleasure to know. My pleasure to know you, Brett, and all the members of your club who are here. And hopefully, I come from the country of Indonesia. That's where I was born. So hopefully, when I go back to Indonesia, as soon as we're allowed to go back, maybe we can meet either in Jakarta or maybe in Sydney, where I think that's where you live, and so that we can have some fun and fellowship. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, DG Richard. Yeah, again, thank you for attending, and I'm sure all our members very much appreciate it, and thank you for your remarks. I think I might open up to questions. So does any of our members have any questions for DG Richard?
Only the easy question. I think I saw Alexandra. I don't know whether she raised her hand digitally but
No, I was just clapping.
Well, that's better than hard question. Brett, I have a question. You mentioned new Rotary Club in your slide. What is the name of that new Rotary Club?
It's the Rotary Club of Cupertino. So we're the co-sponsor.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
I just wanted to pick up on the point you were talking about membership. And so I know, like we're saying with our club, we had very strong growth last year. Whilst I know Rotary was challenged globally and in the district growth, then, this year, whilst we have had some new members join, we've also had a few left. So we're sort of still at the same level as where we started the year. We know that Rotary has changed a lot of its requirements around membership and attendance and such to become a much more dynamic model, so that clubs can pick the right way that they engage members that fits each club and its members. Is there any feedback from the district or from Rotary International around, are there any sort of secrets to success or anything that they're finding works very well or isn't working as a pattern?
Right. So, Brett, I think the best way to recruit new members is to invite guests. I mean, I think we have a program that we are doing this year called AIM, and it's designed so that if a club have a targeted number of guests to invite to the club meetings, or it doesn't have to be club meetings, it could be club social, it could be a Rotary service project, for example. We give them funding to help defray the cost of the guests to come to the meetings. So that's one thing that we're doing, I think, very good. The other one is, well, there's a couple other. We have a Rotary Club called Rotary Club of Gilroy After Hours. And this club started out with 30 members on July 1. Right now, they're at 55, so they have 25 new members this year. And that club primarily engage and work with the Chamber of Commerce, local Chamber of Commerce. So that's their way of growing. We also have a club called in Oakland called Piedmont Montclair, and that club was my first ever governor's visit this year, and that club had about 15 members, small club. And for the past 15 years, the club has had between 12 and 15 members. So they always stay small. And so when I went in there, there was about 6 or 7 members who were there at the meeting, and they are all probably over the age of 70 or above. So for the past 15 years they've been struggling. So I floated the idea asking the club to be flexible. That means flexible means that they ought to have different requirements for new members to come in. For example, they don't have to attend, every single week as the old guard wanted them to do. And the other issue is that if the clubs is flexible, maybe that they can attract younger people better to join Rotary, because younger people do not have the financial means as the senior leaders. So, but the old group told me, no, we're not going to do that. It's a waste of time, blah, blah, blah. They're not going to be the same as us. But, the president, I went to talk to the president. I told her that if you listen to the old group, you get to end your year with 15 members, maybe 14, and nothing will change for the past 15 years. So I told her that you might as well take that risk. You have to take the risk and change despite the opposition from the old group. So about 2 months ago, they added 12 new members. So they go from 15 to 27. And the best part is that 10 out of the 12 new members are people who are under the age of 40. So now the clubs have younger people who can help them with public image, with website. They don't understand, website, the old group. I mean, they don't have any public image. I looked at their website. They were like 2 years old. There has been it's not updated. There's no social media present. So I think the president took the chance, and now the old guards are jumping on the bandwagon and welcoming the newer, younger Rotarians to the club. So I think that if we bring guests to the meeting, I think that's probably the best way of growing your club.
Right, thanks. I think
And
we got a
Mike,
question.
yeah, I guess Mike does.
Yeah. I think you're on mute, Mike.
Sorry about that. So one idea that comes to my mind is that as part of the new rules about membership, there is a provision for dual membership. And in the face of declining membership in established traditional clubs, I would like to see a more standardized understanding and messaging from existing clubs that may be losing members to refer them to the alternative of an EClub like ours. And I can speak from experience, having come from a traditional Rotary Club background for 7 years, in the face of moving out of the local area, in the face of COVID, in the face of being busy with business, finding that answer to service that Rotary has provided me and provided so much comfort to me over the past 7 years, to be able to come into the asynchronous environment of this club and to be able to participate at the district level. And thank you for your kind words. I've had a great team to work with there that has supported the ideas and helped us develop that. But getting back to the point of making the EClub a more visible alternative to other clubs, either through the mechanism of dual membership or if they're resigning for other reasons, that the EClub might be an alternative for. And I'd like to see that more widely communicated and embraced at the district level, so that this becomes a normal kind of referral path for those kinds of situations.
I agree, Mike. I think I have what at the beginning of the year, and as much as I can, I have advised the club that if a member is trying to leave your club, you need to reach out to the EClub as an alternative. I think we can even go beyond that by saying that an existing club could send emails or call them and call former members who left the club, and because of the reason that they cannot come to the meeting, that they ought to call or communicate with former members that there's opportunity to stay in Rotary with EClub. So I think we should go beyond that level, and instead of just pronouncing it, but also to ask the club right now to call their former members and tell them about the opportunity of joining the EClub. But I don't want to treat your club as if it's like a dumping ground for people who wants to leave the regular club to come to the club. I think that it should be more. It should be that your club should be able to try to attract younger people who wants to join Rotary because of the format that you're in. I think this, I mean, here's the thing. I keep, I keep hearing that the younger generation do not have the time, and they don't like to go to the meeting once a week at a restaurant or church hall or community center or whatever. But then this type of club is an opportunity for them to join Rotary. And but on the other hand, there's also I think that's what we should do. We should if you guys have I know that I saw Instagram, but I don't see Facebook. But maybe you ought to maybe do a little bit of a 2 or 3 minute video that you can post to all your friends all over the world, saying that this is how you meet, and this is we have members from all over the world. I think that's another way of trying to recruit new people to join your club, because I see a lot of young people here on the screen.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, Mike, I need to ask you a favor. I would like you to come to the district conference this year. You don't have to come to the whole thing, but just once, because I have something special for you. So I want you to come to San Ramon in April.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll do it. Thank you.
Brett, do you ever travel here to the US?
I haven't for a while. I think the last time I was in the US was for the convention in Atlanta, and so luckily I stopped off in San Francisco on the way there. So I did get to head to about, I think, 3. Luckily it was I think the week of one of the public holidays. I got to head to about 3 social events with the club that they had planned. So I did meet quite a few of our members at the time that were around the Bay Area. So that was a great opportunity. Had planned to go to Hawaii as well, but then obviously that was unfortunately cancelled. So again, hopefully we'll have the chance to venture back across again sometime in the near future. But I think, as you were saying earlier, just with the COVID restrictions, it's made travel, all that much more challenging.
Yeah, it's probably what, 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. where you are now, or?
Luckily, not too bad. I think it was 7 when we started, so ticking on to 8 a.m. now. Yeah.
So you just got back from partying Saturday night, and then you hop onto the EClub meeting.
Yeah. I wish I still had that energy. I think I've woken up once at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. for a call we had many years ago. So that was an interesting one. But I think, and that's the thing, right? Is that sometimes the time zones can have its challenges of being in the EClub, but the way our club meets, the benefits is that we we get speakers from all around the world, and it's flexible. And, you know, if you can't make the live recording, right, then we do have these meetings that are recorded for people to attend and watch at any time that's convenient to them. And so the one that I woke up at 3 a.m. for, we had a speaker from the UK. He was a lord in the House of Lords. I thought that's quite interesting. I definitely want to head along to that one. But, you know, and that's the thing, you know, if we were, you know, a regular Terra Club just with in-person meetings, we wouldn't have that opportunity to get the global speakers that we do.
Yeah. So, Brett, I'm happy that you're doing a good job with this club. You know, we all want to finish our year strong. We got 3 more months left, so I believe that you can get 3 new members so that you meet your goal, and I believe that you can get more members to give something to the Rotary Foundation so that you can finish, and at the end of the year you can say to yourself and to all the club members of this club that, you know, I give it all, and, you know, I have nothing to be I give everything, and I feel good about the year.
Yeah,
I think
no doubt. I think we definitely will push for that. So I think, just conscious of time, might draw things to a close at this point. So for those of you that attended in person, thanks so much for joining, and for those of you that are watching this meeting via the recording, you know, please do leave a comment in the messages section down the bottom and let us know what you thought. You know, we're always keen to hear from our members and guests. So thanks again for joining us here at the Rotary EClub of Silicon Valley.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you.